Hey, what's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and you are listening to Season 2 of the Mindshare Podcast, a proud member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network. Additional podcasts are available at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems. This is episode 75. She's been a realtor since 2005, and upon relocating to a new city in 2017, she decided to start uploading videos to YouTube to help her become known in her new market. Her business exploded, and within 2 years, she formed a team that now generates more than 70% of their closings from YouTube alone. She is now the founder and CEO of YouTube for Agents, and she's also the host of the free Facebook group YouTube for Real Estate Agents, which has over 7,000 members. She was named the #1 BombBomb real estate video influencer in 2019 in the consumer education category, and she is also the Amazon best-selling author of YouTube for Real Estate Agents, Learn How to Get Free Real Estate Leads and Never Cold Call Again. Today on the Mindshare Podcast, I am joined by the YouTube master herself, Karin Carr. Karin, welcome to the show.
Man, I really need to step up my announcer voice so that I sound that good when I'm speaking, David. That was crazy.
Hey, we got to spice it up. Keep it interesting right off the top. Keep people's attention going.
It's awesome.
It's good. No, thank you. I appreciate you joining me today. I'm really looking forward to the insight. In fact, I've had a YouTube channel now for a number of years, as I was telling you before we got on air. And I mean, truth is, I don't even know how long I've had it, but for me, this is where I store most of my videos. I use this as this, front-facing online library of videos that just allows anybody, like it's all my, pretty much all of my video content goes there. I mean, anything I don't mind people sharing to their feed. So, you get different publications, different media resources. They'll go in and they'll just grab the links and they'll share it out to places. I've got offices that'll, show them at sales meetings. It's an easy place for people to grab it and just share it out. And so I've got some videos that have like 15 views, and I've got some videos that'll have like hundreds of views, if not maybe push over 1,000. It's not my main channel that I promote my videos. Like I think that I'm getting more traction on my social media, like when it comes to like my Facebooks and Instagrams and stuff, I think. But I know I'm not doing enough. That's for sure, right? Like I've never promoted my channel. I've never done any paid sponsorships. I've never used the live feature on YouTube. My channel is Mindshare 101, so it's definitely been promoted, but it's like, because of the company name. But there's no serious traffic running through any of that. But you've proven that YouTube can be an incredible resource like anything else when used right. So I want to dig into this with you. I want to know, what am I not doing? Okay. What should I be doing to grow this channel? And again, always keeping in mind, as much as this is like sort of self-serving a little bit for me, David, right now in Mindshare 101, this isn't just for me. We've got an audience of people listening to us. We've got, there's going to be syndicated to all the major podcast platforms. And I really do want the audience, our audience, to understand how to take what we're learning today, the tips and the tricks that you're sharing about YouTube and what you've done, that they can go and implement. So the first thing I've got is to go, I may have a channel, but I don't do much, which is me. Or maybe some people don't have one at all, but it's supposed to be like a really helpful thing. So let's say like I'm game to do this stuff. What does it take to start a YouTube channel? And I'm talking like the basics, starting point A, for even people that are going, I don't know, I don't do this and I don't do video.
Okay. So to start a YouTube channel, it's really nothing. If you have any sort of Google login, when you log into your Google account, you've got that little tic-tac-toe board in the upper right-hand corner and you click on it. One of those is YouTube. If you click on YouTube and it's like, you don't have a channel, do you want to create one? You say yes. So creating the channel is a piece of cake. Now, why should you have the channel?
Right.
In my opinion, YouTube is a search engine. It's not a social media platform. So if you make videos and you're putting them on Facebook and Instagram, people have to know that you exist in order to then follow your channel. And if they're on there to be social, they're not necessarily looking for real estate or real estate information. But when they're on Google, they're looking for the real estate information. And who owns YouTube? Google. Google owns YouTube, for anybody that didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if you have a video that's doing well on YouTube, it can absolutely show up on the first page of Google search results totally for free. So if you went to Google right now and you typed in moving to Savannah, my little YouTube video is a featured snippet. So it's showing up on the first page of Google. And not only is it the thumbnail saying, watch this video that's this big, it's this big. It's this giant, like the very top search result. Boom, there it is on the first page of Google, totally organically. And the cool part is that that video is called Moving to Savannah. If somebody Googles moving to Savannah, do you think that they're interested in moving to Savannah and they're going to need to find a place to live and quite possibly want to buy a property? Heck yeah. So we get tons and tons and tons of leads from that video. And it is nothing fancy. I literally filmed it in this room before I painted it. So the walls were beige. It's got no fancy backdrop. It was in the middle of summer and it was really hot and it was super humid. I look all sweaty in the video. Like, it's not pretty. It's one of my first videos and it's not good. But it was basically a listicle. And our mutual friend, Dustin Brome, wrote an awesome blog post called Moving to Salt Lake. And I said, dude, I'm totally stealing your idea. And so I did Moving to Savannah and I made it in video format. So it was kind of like, why should you consider moving to Savannah? Well, we live by the beach, except that it's really affordable to live here compared to other beach towns. We have great restaurants. We have great nightlife. We have a major airport. So you don't have to live somewhere, but it takes you 2 hours to get to the airport. You know, we have an airport here. We have lots of golfing. We have access to great healthcare. We have all the things. And, you know, it's like a 4-hour drive to Disney World. Bonus. So it's a very informal video about, hey, this is why it's a cool place to live. And then at the end of the video, you could say something like, so now you know why it's a great place to live. If you've ever thought about moving here, you should go to my website and read the entire blog post that I wrote about it, which is like a 3,000 word blog post with links and graphics and pictures and listicles and infographics and all the things. So they can go to your website. And once they get there, if you wanted to, now you could pixel them and start running ads to them. Or you can have a call to action like download my free relocation guide. When they click on that, it's a landing page, so they have to put in their information in order to get it. And then when I get an email that says, hey, you have a new lead, so-and-so downloaded the Relo guide, and you call them, they say, oh my gosh, that's so cool that you called me. I just watched your video a minute ago. And it's a completely different type of conversation than a typical internet lead because they know who you are. They watched you. They heard your voice. They saw your face. You're giving them all that information. They kind of feel like they know you now versus getting some random internet lead where 10 other agents are all trying to call them in the first 10 minutes and they want to talk to you. Like when I call the leads I get from my website, they want to talk to me. And that right there is why you need to be doing YouTube. You're welcome.
I love it. That was like drinking through a fire hose, but no. And I want to break that stuff down because you said some amazing things there. And I think it's important. Like one of the big keys here, and Cheryl even just mentioned that right there, is quoting you in the comments saying, you know, use YouTube more as a search engine than a social media tool.
Yes.
Right. So let's now step back and break down what you said. Right. So the first thing here is, you came up with your content. You kind of knew what you wanted to record, but you also said, and I can tell you a very similar story about my first video that I ever did. And I'm like 205 mindshare videos deep. Forget about the podcast at all. It's like just my mindshare rants, 205 of them. And I remember the first one, it was like the earbud was in the ear and I'm walking through the store and the lighting is bad and there's background sounds. And, you know, it was a bad production. But it got me started. Now,
right.
I'm not saying my productions are that much better now, but 205 later, you definitely learn every time you do it, right?
Yes.
But when you look at the way you built it, production wasn't your biggest concern.
No, and it still isn't.
Execute, right?
Yes. I really feel like you need the bare minimum. It doesn't have to be fancy. It does not need to be super well produced. It doesn't need to be very elaborate with super expensive equipment. Most of the videos on my channel, I recorded either with my phone or my iPad. Like seriously, it's very low budget stuff.
Yeah, to me, I was just going to ask you about that. Like what kind of equipment are you using? Because I know for me, like I've got for me, depending on what I'm recording, and now because again I've been doing it for a number of years, I've gotten myself slightly more sophisticated with this stuff. But again, let's like really like air quote that, because the reality is most of my video is shot with this and this alone, like nothing else. I don't even mic up. I mean, right now doing this, obviously I've got this like big Yeti mic and I got my webcam and whatever, but like, you know, that's just through trial and error of doing things. I mean, I know some
Yeah.
people have said like, how do you have one of those, what do you call it, a gimbal or whatever that gadget is that, you know, moves it around? I'm like, no. Like, what do you hold your phone with? I'm like, my right arm. You know, not to overcomplicate the situation, right? That's my big thing. What are you using for equipment to kind of do your stuff on a regular?
I mean, seriously, I'm using
Right?
my phone.
Okay.
I do have a gimbal, but I rarely use it. I mostly use it for listing tours. So if I'm taking a video of my new listing, I want that to be smooth and look really well produced and not be super jerky. So I use the gimbal for that. But I don't use it for much other than that, quite frankly. I was looking for my microphone. I thought I had it in the drawer. I don't. I have a little clip on Bluetooth microphone that I just bought about, I don't know, I think I got it at Christmas time. And I really like it because it's Bluetooth and it's wireless. So
I
I
was gonna
don't
say
have a
blue.
big
Yeah.
long cord. Yeah, I used to have one with a cord that would plug into the headphones jack, but then every time I take it out of my drawer,
Yeah,
it's like
and the
it's like
wire is
Christmas
like a
lights.
mile long.
Yes,
I've got
it's
that
like
one.
the knot of Christmas lights from Christmas Vacation. And so this one is wireless and it's rechargeable and it's very small. It's like that big and it just clips right here and it's very modern looking. And because it's Bluetooth, it just, you know, you open your Bluetooth settings in your phone and you go connect. And the sound quality is amazing. It's really, really good. It's called the Smart Mic
I
Plus.
was just about to
It's
ask
not
you. The
cheap. It's
Smart
like
Mic Plus.
$139 on Amazon. So it's not cheap. But you know what? Start with what you have. If you don't have any microphone, fine. If you want to buy a wired microphone that's $12.99, fine. And then after you get your first closing where you got a commission check and you say, okay, I'm going to go buy myself a $139 microphone, you can. And then if you want to step it up and get a DSLR or a nicer camera, you can, but it's not necessary. I've never once had anybody say, you know, I almost hired you, but when I watch your stuff, I feel like your production quality is lacking. Like they just don't say that. They don't
Well,
care. They want to be able to see you and get to know you.
even when you think about a DSLR, I mean, I still try to wrap my head around that and go, okay, but how do I position that? How do I hold that on
Right.
my own and do my own stuff? It's almost like you now
Yep.
need the friend and the tripod or whatever to do it, right?
Agreed. So another mutual friend, Neil Mathweg,
Yep.
stopped through Savannah right before the whole COVID
Oh my
crash.
God, I
He
saw
was
those
driving
posts. Yeah,
back
yeah.
home. Yeah. They had gone to Disney World and they were driving home and they stopped in Savannah, spent the night at our house. And so we did a little video together. And he had this giant camera with a lens and the whole night. And he was like holding it like this. And I said, how do you do that? My arm would fall
Right.
off. It's heavy and you've got to extend your arm to get it away. And yeah, it looks really good. I mean, it looks good, but you know what? The camera on your iPhone or whatever phone you have is really good too. So if that's what you have, use what you have.
And I'll echo that and say, you know, the phone, and Karen and I are both agreeing on this very much right now. The phone has a wonderful lens on it. It is incredibly
Mm-hmm.
easy to hold. You can see yourself in the screen. Word to the wise, everybody pay attention to the lens, not to the screen, as you're doing this stuff, right?
And
Right.
so there's a little secret. I bought this itty bitty ring light for like $7.99 on Amazon. And you go like this to put it on there. It will turn
Oh,
on and be a light, but even better than that, it's a bullseye. It says, look here. Don't look here, look here.
oh,
Because
smart.
otherwise, when you're recording, like how many videos have you seen where it's like, hi, I'm Karin Carr, I'm a realtor, and I'm not making eye contact
Yeah,
with the
but you know what
lens. And
gets me,
it's
Karen?
really
Like,
awkward.
we've got mutual friends in this business that are friends that are supposed to be better at this, and they're still doing that stuff. It drives me crazy, you know. But it's looking at the lens. But I mean, when you look at it and go, okay, so I got my phone, and we were just talking about the different microphones you can get. I mean, you could use like the headphone jack, like the headphones that you got, if you want to have another microphone. And I'll tell you, if you
Right.
speak,
I
You've got
mean,
earbuds.
I got my AirPods in and I'm using the webcam on my computer. This would be perfectly fine. If I wanted to record a video, I could literally, so I'm on a Mac and I've got QuickTime. If you're on a PC and you're using Windows, there's a million different screen recording apps, right? You just turn it on,
Mhm.
you look at your webcam. I'm using my AirPods for the connectivity. And that would be fine. When you're all done with it, you stop recording, you download it, you do a little bit of editing, you upload to YouTube and call it a day. Like you do not have to have really expensive equipment.
Not at all. So when you look at that and we talk about, again, how you're mic'd up, which we just went over, we go over like the type of, camera you need, which is, again, we've all got a phone, so use it, or on your laptop, you got one. Um, Beyond that, you don't need much more equipment. So now it comes down to, okay, I want to record this video.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my phone. Okay, I've decided I'm going to plug in my earphones and I'm going to use that as my microphone. Cool, done. Now it's a matter of content, right? I've got to come up with content. And then the recording here, sorry, aspect ratio. Personally, for me, yes, I record everything landscape. Is that what you're saying as well?
Yes. So
Okay.
definitely for YouTube, because if you ever have gone on YouTube and you watch a video that they recorded vertically, it's this tiny little skinny strip in the middle and then big black bars on
Yep.
either side. It just does not look good. So you want to record in landscape for YouTube, definitely.
And then recording in landscape, keep that ratio
16:9. Yeah.
16:9. Keep that for YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I know like when we look at the Facebooks and the Instagrams and stuff, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
1:1. We're going for the square ratio.
Right. No, they don't really do. I mean, if you upload a square video to YouTube, you're going to get the same thing where you
Right,
get the big black
exactly.
bars on either side. So, in fact, we're thinking about buying an RV. So, we were watching a virtual tour of an RV this morning, and the guy filmed it in vertical. And I'm like, like you're holding the camera, and all I can see is the doorway. I can't see anything on either side. Why do people do that? Yeah, turn it horizontally for YouTube for sure,
There
and
you
let
go.
them be able to see the entire room. That would be great.
That's for me because I know most of my vids, even though like I will edit the aspect ratio using
Mm-hmm.
different, the software I've got on my phone, which for anybody that cares, it's I've got an app that I got on my Play Store called Viva Video. It's like I pay $3 or something a month for it, but it gives me everything I need. I can put my watermarks, I can trim the top and the bottom of the video, I can change the aspect ratios on it. So that's really, really simple stuff. But I love recording landscape because when I record landscape, I now have all of that background behind me. So if I'm walking through a mall or Times Square or whatever, you can see the lights, you can see the atmosphere behind, and you got something you can kind of engage in.
And if you do want to repurpose it for a different platform, it's so much easier to take the wide one and make it skinny rather than take
Right.
the skinny one and make it wide.
Exactly. What are you using for editing?
My virtual assistant in the Philippines.
Okay, cool.
Best thing ever. So I started with iMovie, and iMovie is fine and it
Yeah.
comes free with my computer. And it was a great place to start learning, but eventually you kind of outgrow it. Like you want to start doing some fancier stuff and it just doesn't allow you to do it. Then I discovered this one called WeVideo, which is cloud-based. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether it's PC or Mac because you're doing it in your browser. And it's got some amazing features, but it's very user-friendly and affordable. So I like it very, very much. But eventually I got to the point where I was getting so many leads and doing enough business that I just didn't want to do all my own editing anymore. I wanted to outsource it. So I found a VA who charges me less than $3 an hour
Oh my
to
God.
edit my videos, and she's in the Philippines. So I just upload my video, I send her the link, she does all the editing, and when it's done, she says, okay, here's your first draft. I go in and watch it and say, can you change this, this, and this? She makes the revisions, and then boom, it's done. So for me, it is the best money that I spend. I mean, if you're going to spend 25 bucks a week, 30 bucks a week to have somebody do the editing for you, to get all of that time back, for me, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, totally. Like I know even for these Mindshare podcasts, as we're doing a live right now, the recording is here, the video is here. And I guess I say this, it's pretty public as I say this, but I have not gotten around yet to getting these lives actually onto my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I know you don't want to hear that.
Well, you know what? Facebook Lives, if you download a Facebook Live and you upload it to YouTube, they typically don't perform all that well unless you do a little bit of editing to
That's
begin
the
with.
key.
Now, your live, you had a very well thought out intro and the whole 9 yards. Most people are like, hey, I'm going live. I'm going to kill some time and wait while people jump on. Oh, hi, Susie. Hey, Joe. And so when you upload that to YouTube, people start to watch it and they're like, snooze, and they just hit
Right.
the back button. But if you were
Yes.
to edit it and take that part out and start right when the meat of your content starts, it would probably do much better on YouTube. So you can make some very minor edits before you upload it, and it would probably get a lot more views.
And, I think that that's been my reluctancy, is more just the fact that I mean, the session obviously is recording, because we use the audio to get it syndicated for the podcast that releases on
Mm-hmm.
Friday. But then there's there's this content right here, and we talk always, about, and we both do it, and all of us are multi-purpose and cross-channel marketing, and leveraging, your content across multiple channels. And so for me, it's really just been about the editing for the podcast. That's it for the video part of it, to get it up there, and it's the time. So I love what you
Right.
said about
It's
the
just the
VA,
time.
right? It's the time. So content, I was asking about that.
Yeah.
You came up with moving to Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that, or maybe a few ideas that you just sort of generally kind of throw out there to our audience, being sort of the real estate industry, realtors, LOs, mortgage brokers, like what kind of stuff can these guys do? And then what kind of preparation, right? So they've said, okay, I want to do this video. I'm going to do a video, but I am not really sure what I'm going to put up. So let me think this through before I turn this camera on. What steps can they take to come up with content, and then how do they prepare themselves before hitting record?
When you first create your YouTube channel, I think it's really, really, really important to have a focus. So you can have a specialty. You can say, like, I am the go-to person if you're a first-time buyer, or if you want to buy a condo downtown where you don't have to mow the grass, or you want to buy a beach house, or you are a senior, you're an empty nester, you've got to sell your big fancy house and buy a single story where you don't have to mow the lawn anymore. And, you're going to get rid of all of your stuff because you're going from a 4,000 square foot house to a 1,500 square foot townhouse type thing. You can have a niche, a specialty for the channel, and it will perform so much better because you know who you're talking to. So therefore it makes it easier for you to come up with content ideas, and it makes it easier for you to stand out in a sea. I mean, there's something, before COVID, there were 31 million YouTube channels. I don't know how many there are now. I'm sure a bazillion more have come out in the last 2 months. So how do you stand out? You cannot just be Johnny all-purpose real estate agent who will sell or buy anywhere in the entire metro area that you service. It's just so broad. Pick a specialty and then make that your thing. So for mine, it was military that are relocating to Savannah. And I figured, because my husband is retired Air Force, so we're a
Mhm.
military family. But also, if you are coming to the area, you don't know anybody. And so you're going to be doing these Google searches looking for information. And it's really just low hanging fruit. Like, when you're the one putting that information out there, they do a Google search and they find you, you're going to get the business because you are the one doing it. And let's face it, hardly any of your competitors have a YouTube channel. So it's very easy to dominate your market when you have no competition. You don't even have to be good. You just have to be there and be consistent, right?
It's so
Because
funny you say
nobody
that,
else
because,
is doing it.
well, that's the thing. Everybody thinks everybody's doing it, but it's like the more people you ask, most people are not doing it.
Most people are not. Yeah, I know very few people. I mean, they're all in my Facebook group, and that's the only reason
Right.
why I know that they have a YouTube channel. But in my own market, very few people have a YouTube
So,
channel.
so the thought that comes to my mind then says, when select your niche, is this
Mm-hmm.
is this you writing it down and marking it somewhere where you go, this is my niche, or is this you going to YouTube and there's a certain function within YouTube that says, tell us what your niche is?
No, this is really you deciding, who would I enjoy serving? Who do I feel like I can speak to with the most authority? Usually because you've been there, done that yourself. So as a military family, I know what people are going through if they've got orders to be transferred to a new duty station. And I have bought houses with a VA loan, and I know all that stuff from firsthand experience. So I feel like I'm able to easily speak their language because I've done it myself. If you were a teacher before you got your real estate agent license, maybe you want to work with teachers, or I know police officers or people that were in the military themselves, and now that's who their focus is because that's what they did in their former career before they went into real estate. It could just be, I want to be the farm queen of this particular area, like this one neighborhood that has 1,000 houses. It's my farm area. I want to dominate it. So that farm is your specialty. I mean, it's really whatever you want it to be, as long as you enjoy it, because you're going to be talking about this stuff over and over and over again, and that there's enough business that it would keep you occupied. Like if you say, I'm only going to help people that want to buy horse property, but you live in downtown San Francisco, you're probably not going to sell a ton of properties, right? So you need to make sure that there's enough business to sustain you, but also that it's a topic you're interested in and you would enjoy talking about that stuff. So once you figure out what your niche is, again, back to my own example, it was military relocating to Savannah.
Right.
It was things like, what is Savannah like? Where should I live? If I'm going to be stationed at Hunter Army Airfield, where could I live that would have me with a reasonable commute? If I want to be where the really good schools are, how far away is that? Is it worth the drive? Should I live closer to downtown and just pay for private schools? If I want to live by the beach, so you're talking about all that kind of stuff for newcomers who just don't know anything about the area. And when they're Googling that kind of thing, all they're finding are houses for sale. And I don't know where that house is in relation to anything else. But if you do a tour of the neighborhood and you say, let me show you what it looks like, and oh, by the way, this is about 8 miles from the airfield, or you're telling them that stuff in the video, it's so incredibly helpful to those people because they're just not finding that stuff online. And when they find it in video format, not only are they getting the information, but they're also getting FaceTime with you. And that's why they call you, because they know, like, and trust you.
And I want to come back to this point in terms of how they found it, because I want to get there, because I think that that's the biggest step is once you got the content out. But so, we've come up with a niche. We figured out a niche that we enjoy dealing with, that is actually, there's an opportunity there. So again, I love the example of like, you want to sell like ranches or whatever, but you live downtown. It's like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So
Right.
you've got to enjoy the audience that you're going to be dealing with. You've got to enjoy the topic you're going to be talking about. Now that you've come up with an idea around content and what you want to be saying, we've talked about equipment and how to record. Now it comes down to, how long should these videos be? So let's say something like your first one that you did about moving to Savannah. How long was that? And were you using any school of thought there around, or any background, tips and tricks about YouTube, kind of like you're providing to us now of, I know that they said the ultimate time should be 22 minutes, and is there something like that?
YouTube definitely favors longer content. So everybody that thinks it needs to be shorter, that's not the case. YouTube wants you to stay on their platform as long as possible. And the best performing video on my channel is 10 minutes long. The moving to Savannah video is just under 4 minutes long. And at the time when I made it, I wasn't really shooting for any particular length of time. I just was making the video, and after all of the edits, it worked out that it was like 3 minutes and 55 seconds long. But then I saw how well people were responding to that video. So I said, ooh, I should make another one on a similar topic. So I did living in Savannah, what I love and what I hate. It's longer. It gets lots of clicks. And I think the reason why it gets so many clicks is because people think, oh, she's actually telling me the cons in addition to the pros. She's not just blowing sunshine up my skirt telling me why it's a great place. She's actually telling me the drawbacks of living there as well. So because it's a little bit controversial with the title, it gets people to click on it. They start watching it. If they watch at least 50% of the video, the YouTube algorithm is like, ding, 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 we have a winner. People like this content. We should serve it up to more people. And so it gets more impressions, and then it gets more clicks, and then people are watching it, they're commenting, they're giving it a thumbs up. Even if they give it a thumbs down, they are still engaging with that content, which makes YouTube want to show it even more. And so that video has had 30,000 organic views at this point, which is insane. Like, I've had people call me and say, I'm going to be moving to Savannah. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Have you been here before? And they go, no. Wait, you've decided to move to Savannah because you watched my video and I said it was a cool place to live? That has happened probably 10 times.
Oh my God, that is
crazy.
So cool.
I'm like, why don't you come here on vacation and see if you like it first before you pack up and move cross country?
They love you already.
Isn't that crazy? And like one guy got here and he was like, no, I do not like it here. And I said, aren't you glad you figured that out before you loaded up the U-Haul? It's funny, but
Isn't that
Yep.
something?
So you
Okay.
can make a video based on what you want your niche to be and what you think would work well. Then you go look at your analytics in YouTube, and it's very easy. You just look at the analytics and you say, okay, the video was 5 minutes long, but people are only watching 15% of the video. Ooh, they don't like this video. Where are they leaving? And you go look and say, okay, everybody drops off before the 45-second mark. Why is that? I'm going to tell you, I probably know why that is. And I don't even know what video we're talking about, but I'm going to tell you what it is. It's because you started with, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Karin Carr, and I'm a realtor in Savannah, Georgia with Keller Williams. Thank you so much for joining. I want you to subscribe to my channel because I'm famous and I'm awesome. And you just want to subscribe. Enough about me. What do you think about me? Let's talk some more about me, shall we? And a minute and a half later, we still have not even gotten to the topic yet. So that's the wrong thing to do on YouTube. They did not come there because they wanted to watch a commercial. They came there because they wanted to know, what's it like if I move to the area, right? So we need to talk about yourself as little as possible in the video. So I usually start with a really good hook of, are you thinking about moving to Savannah? I'm going to tell you some reasons why it's great here and the things you're going to hate about living here. And then you roll your little intro, and then you come back and you say, hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Karin Carr. I'm a realtor in Savannah with Keller Williams. And then you start talking about your stuff. Like, you introduce yourself because you have to not get in trouble with your real estate commission for your state. But then that's it. You move on and you start talking about the video. And you're showing them the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is you want to talk about in that video. And then at the end, have some good call to action. Either watch another video. So if you liked this video, you might like this one where I talked about blah, 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 blah. And you get them to watch another one so you get more time with them, more FaceTime with them. Or you might say something like, so now you know why this is a great place to live. I've got a free relocation guide. If you want it, just click the link down below and head on over to my website. You can download my relo guide, where I go into great detail about the different neighborhoods and, all the things and major employers, whatever it might be. And it took me some time to make the relo guide. I made it in Canva. I just picked one of their templates. I wrote it all out. It took me like a week to make it. You know what? I've made well into the six figures in commissions from that stupid relo guide. So
Wow.
1 week worth of time. And that was 3 years ago. That was in
Yeah.
2017. So it will pay for itself over and over and over and over and over again. If you are trying to think, what would be a value that I could offer them, so much so that they would give me their contact information in exchange. And it's not, call me if I can help you.
Right. And then, we talk a lot about the CTA. That call to action is so important
It
towards the
is.
end. Like, what do you want people to do? And you're saying, hey, go to my website and download this relocation guide. And
Yes.
people are going there. And this is something that I think is really important for everybody to understand as well. And we've talked about this a lot, but when you do put these up, you need to understand, and I'm not talking to you, but just in general to everybody
Mm-hmm.
is having that, what we call, quote unquote lead magnet, which is your
Mm-hmm.
relo guide, which is my 7 ways to communicate. We're directing somebody to go somewhere. We're doing a call to action. We're saying, go do this and you can get this. Part of that, and as you just said, and I've said it before, it takes time. You've got to be involved in that process. You've got to put together that content. You've got to really buckle down and say, okay, wait a second. In order to make this work, and for everybody listening right now, it's important. I guess what I also want to share, though, this doesn't work just with YouTube. This is for any of the online kind of, again, lead gen you're trying to create, the ads you're putting out there, any of the stuff you're doing. There's got to be that call to action. Hey, comment below. Message me for more information. If you want to know this, get in touch with me here. If you want that, go download this Relo guide, right? We've got to understand that there's a process to it. So you're coming up with the video content. You're coming up with the ebook, the lead magnet, let's call it. You are coming up with the funnel process because there's got to be emails that come in after that in order to try to convert people. Like, it's not as simple as just post on Facebook or post
Right.
a video on YouTube.
Yes.
There's a lot more to it.
There is a lot more to it. However, it is extremely effective, and it will pay you
Absolutely.
back in spades if you take the
Absolutely.
time to set it up or
That's
have
it.
somebody do it for you. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to do this yourself. If this is not in your wheelhouse, hire an assistant who can do it for you.
So, video length again. Sorry, you said
Mm-hmm.
obviously longer is better.
Yeah.
You said the 10-minute one is kind of your best views right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that 3 minutes is no good and 60 minutes is amazing? Do you find that you know, it should be between 10 and 20 minutes? Like, do you have a range there, or are you more of the mind of like, just get on video and start posting consistently?
Well, yes, just get on video
Yeah.
and start posting. However, I would say it's like 4 minutes is the minimum at this point,
Okay.
because if there are people that have a channel and they do like 2 Minute Tuesdays or something, and YouTube doesn't really have any reason to promote those videos because 2 minutes of watch time is nothing to them.
Okay.
They want people to stay on their platform. So if you want the algorithm to suggest your content out there, it's gotta be longer, so that even if they only stick around for 50%, because let's face it, nobody's watching 100% of your videos, but if they're watching at least half of it, that's 5 minutes of watch time. And so YouTube is going to be more inclined to promote that for you. So
What's
yeah,
a
I'd say
maximum length
shoot
then?
for
Like, I mean, is an hour too long? Is 3 hours too long? Obviously, not
totally
everybody's going to be watching.
depends. It
Okay.
just depends on what is the topic and for instance, I've been going live on YouTube and I've never been a live streamer. I've never wanted to. Like, Facebook Live would scare the bejesus out of me. I had no inclination. I would so much rather
By the way,
pre-record
we're
and
on
then
Facebook.
edit it.
We're on Facebook Live
Oh,
right now.
that's right.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to record it in advance so I could edit it and I could take out the mistakes. And I never went live. I just never did.
Yeah.
And then when all of this coronavirus stuff started, I said, you know what? I'm going to
Corona
learn
what?
how to do you.
What
Yeah,
started?
really. What is that? I said, I'm going to learn how to live stream. I'm going to learn how to do this. And I'm going to go live on YouTube once a week for other real estate agents that want to learn how to do video. And those videos are doing so well. And they're half-hour live streams. So it's
Okay.
kind of like, like what we're doing here, but it's on YouTube. And so in the half hour, if I have 100 or 200 people on live with me, I'll go look at my analytics and it says you've had 89 hours of watch time in the last half
Ah,
hour, because they
okay.
take all of those minutes added together and it's insane.
Oh,
So the YouTube algorithm is like, bonus, we're
yeah.
definitely going to show this to other real estate agents now, because that's tons and tons and tons of watch time that you as a creator are bringing to their platform. And that's what they want, because the longer you're on YouTube, the more ads you get shown. And that's basically the name of the game for the algorithm, right? They want you to stick around on their platform so you can see more ads, which makes their advertisers happy. So they run more ads.
Okay. So minimum 4 minutes
Yeah, I would
ish.
say like minimum 4 minutes. If it's going to
Okay.
be a 3 minute video, that's okay. But don't go on there thinking you need to do like 60-second videos. No one will ever see them.
Right. Okay, cool. And I know for me, like with my Mind Show 101 stuff, it's always been short and sweet. Like I've got stuff that is
Mm-hmm.
60 seconds. I've got stuff that's like 3.5 minutes. So those videos there don't even fall within the parameters of YouTube, like really pushing. And that, listen, but this is good learning though, right? Because that also
Right,
tells me why are those videos sometimes not being seen enough. Whereas I
right.
know some of the longer stuff, like I still have this massive library of all these podcast videos that need to be posted up to my channel, and they just haven't been yet. And I'm probably going to reach out to your VA and seek some additional work just to help me get them up there, because it's a matter of time. Those will then fit into the parameter that YouTube is more looking for, because there's more, they're longer videos.
Right. It's kind of like the magic combination of longer video, good watch time
Yeah.
retention. People are watching at least half of the video. They're engaging with it somehow. They like it, they comment, they save it to a playlist, they share it. All of those things together come up with the magic secret to make the algorithm happy. But also, it's that people just like the content. So if
Yeah.
they find the video, even if it's not super long, but they watch it all the way through because
Yeah.
they thought it was amazing content, you are going to be rewarded by having it show up higher in the search results. Absolutely.
Now, talking to appeasing algorithms, what about, obviously we know consistency is key to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how often should I be posting to YouTube? And I've heard stuff in the past, and I might have learned it from you, you know, kind of a consistent day and time each week. YouTube will pick that up, and that'll help. But is that the case? And what say you?
I have always been a once a week person.
Okay.
I really feel like if you can make it part of your DNA, like this is just what I do is I make a video and I post it every week on the same day at roughly the same time, that's kind of the equivalent of having a TV show. And if your TV show is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m., you can't just post it on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. because you were busy that day. Like nobody's
Right.
going to show up to watch it if you're not there all the time. If they are trained to expect your content and they know when it's coming, they're going to show up looking for it. But if you're very inconsistent, they just stop looking because they don't know. And then the algorithm doesn't really know either. It's like, yeah, he posted 2 videos last week and then none this week. So I don't know what to do. And it doesn't know either. So I really feel like once a week is kind of the standard on YouTube. You can post every other week if you want to. It's just going to take a lot longer for your channel to grow. But if you say I'm going to do 2 a week, that's really hard to maintain, really hard to maintain, especially once you start to get busy and then you just find so many reasons not to do it. So I would say shoot for once a week, same day of the week, every single time. And it can fluctuate slightly. Like I post Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Sometimes it's 9:15,
Yeah.
sometimes it's 8:50. But if I get it uploaded in advance, I can schedule it to go out at 9 a.m. on the dot. And so most of my videos go out at 9 a.m. on the dot.
Gotcha. And that was one thing I had heard too, was again, like we just said, it's kind of like that TV show. Be there consistently, kind of same
Mm-hmm.
bat channel, same bat time every single
Yep.
week. And now people will come to expect it. The algorithms will start to pick it up. So when we're doing this, then it's not like we want to, I mean, to take advantage, we don't want to do once a month.
Well, I mean, it's better than none a month, but
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
you're
that's a
going
good
to,
point.
but I mean, for me, posting once a week, it took me 3 months just to get to 100 subscribers.
Right.
I mean, it's a long slog. And if you're doing one a month, you're going to be at like
It's going to take
17
time.
subscribers after a year. Yeah. So
Right.
you want to do it enough that you're going to see some momentum. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, we've made this really, really basic so far, right? And for anybody
Hmm.
that's kind of joined halfway through, or just to kind of, if you've been following the whole way through, I just want to reiterate, right? It was we started off by going, let's just start a YouTube channel, and there's many of you that might be going, okay, yeah, I get past that, I've already got one, cool, done. But it's free to do this. You go to Google
Yeah.
and literally just start the channel, call it something. Um, does the name matter? I guess there's a question to you. Does the name matter? And we're going to talk more about promoting in just a moment when it comes to like our titles and what Google searches are happening. Should I be thinking that through when I think about the channel name?
I want you to name it whatever your branding is. So
Okay.
you are the face of your brand. And are you branding everything under your name or are you branding everything under the name of your business? So if you want the name of your channel to be Karin Carr, that's fine. And if you want it to be called Georgia Coast Homes, that's fine too. So just think about what is your branding. It would be great if it could be consistent across all the platforms. So
Hmm.
whatever your Instagram handle is also your Facebook name, is also your YouTube channel name. That would be great. It doesn't have to be something like Cincinnati Homes and Lifestyles or something like that, because when people are searching for what it is that they wanted to know, they find the specific video most of the time. They don't necessarily find your entire channel. They find the name of that one video and then they click on the video and they watch it. It doesn't really matter to me what the name of your channel is, as long as I can find the content that I'm looking for when I do the search.
Okay, cool. So we've and then that's great to know, right? So we've started the channel, we've named it, we've branded it accordingly. Now that we've got the channel, we're going to figure out who our niche market is, who are we trying to
Mm-hmm.
deliver to, what kind of content do we want to put out there. That's going to help us come up with the content that we're going to do. We've talked about the simplicities around the actual equipment to use and how it can literally be as basic as just use your phone. You don't need every, bell and whistle, microphone, camera, you name it. Just keep it really, really simple. So I now know where I'm posting YouTube. I've created my channel. I know what I'm talking about. I know what equipment I need. I know from a time perspective, we talked about kind of like that 4 minute to maybe 60-minute type of thing, but the value is the important part of it now,
Right.
right? We talked about the aspect ratio. You want to record landscape. We talked about consistency, kind of do this like same time, same day, every single week, try to get to that weekly thing. And I will add into that, scheduling, just like anything else in life, scheduling is huge. And I know for me with my videos, I plan when I'm going to record them. I plan when I'm going to be able to edit them. I plan when I'm going to be able to upload them. Everything has a time. And that's why for me, it's in stone. The same way with the podcast. I know when I record. I know when I edit. I know when I post it up. I know when I move on. Right. So it's the
Agreed.
same thing. It's have that schedule. So now the big question becomes, I've got it all and I'm putting it together. And just like me, I want to take my channel and I want to promote it. And it's not just necessarily paid advertising, but where you just mentioned, it took what, 3 months or something to get up to 100 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people are going like, I'm on 3 years and I don't have 100 subscribers. And it's possible, right? And some people are like,
Yeah, it's
oh man, I got
possible.
100 in my first day. I don't know, whatever. But like, what do you do with this now? How do you take this and get it out there to the masses?
You have to be talking about something besides houses. I mean, people don't go on YouTube because they're looking up 123 Main Street unless they already knew that 123 Main Street was for sale and they just wanted to see the virtual tour. But if they do that and they watch the virtual tour and they go, I didn't really like the kitchen, it's too small, that you're not going to get that business. They're not going to call you. They're not going to say, I didn't like the kitchen, but wow, the agent who was not even in that video is amazing. We got to hire them. So you're making this content, answering the questions that they have, giving them all that information, which is more top of funnel. Like if we're talking of the marketing stuff, they're looking for the information at the very beginning and we're bringing them down that funnel until they're ready to talk to us. And then I totally went off of a tangent. What was your question?
No. But from no, it's good. And I'm picking up on what you're saying there. But from like a promotion standpoint, like again, when you said,
Promotion, right?
Savannah, like homes in
Right.
Savannah, and I'm going, okay,
Yep.
so I go to Google and I type in like I'm interested in houses in Savannah, and for some reason your video's popping up. Like, did you pay for that?
Right.
And if you didn't, what
No,
did? Right.
no.
So
So
what did you do?
I love to do keyword research. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
I'm a huge nerd about keyword research. So for anybody that does not know, there are tons of keyword research tools out there. Some are free, some are paid. I like Keywords Everywhere, which is $10 for 100,000 search credits. And it's a plugin for Chrome or Firefox so that when you go on Google and you type in living in Savannah or retiring to Savannah or best neighborhoods in Savannah or whatever it is that you're typing in, it says this many people a month are typing that exact phrase into the search bar. And so I'm looking for something that gets a lot of monthly searches and has low competition so that I'm pretty much guaranteed to rank at the top of the search results when they are looking for that stuff. So for example, if I was looking at a video the other day, he did it called Realtor, Broker, and Agent, what's the difference? And that's a very worthwhile topic, right? The problem is that nobody is searching for that. Like no consumers care what the difference is, I don't think, because nobody is searching for it. So he made this really great looking video that's very beautifully produced and it had a great camera and nice editing and like probably spent a lot of time putting this thing together, and it's had 14 views because the general consumer doesn't know what they don't know and they don't even know enough to ask that question. So
Right.
I need to know in advance, what are people searching for that is going to indicate that they are intending to buy or sell real estate in my market, so that my video will show up when they do that search. And that's what the keyword research tools do. They say, moving to Savannah, whoops, my Siri just came on. Moving to Savannah gets 390 searches a month and the competition is very low. So I know I'm going to make a video called Moving to Savannah because almost 400 people a month are searching for that and I have no competition.
Got it. So the key word is the big factor. Is this the tags when you're just before you're about to post your video up, and it's like it's got the tags down at the bottom, and you can type in all these different words.
You
Is
can
that
put it in there too, but mostly I'm saying it in, like I'm saying it in the video. I put it in the title. I put it in the description
okay?
box. I put it in the tags. Like I use it everywhere.
Got it. So you're not
Yep.
just putting it. So it's title. It's
Mm-hmm.
verbally saying it in the video. And when you do your keyword search, like if you go to that system, keywords everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
what did you type in to come up with to get it to give you the results that you're looking for? Like where it's like you've got to say moving to Savannah. What
Well,
did
if
you
you
type in?
type, for an example, if you type in moving to Savannah, it only gets something like 70 searches a month. But if you change it to moving to Savannah GA,
Okay.
then it goes up to 400 searches a month. So
Okay.
just by adding the abbreviation to the state for the state at the very end of the phrase, it like quadrupled the search results or
But then
more
under
than
there,
that.
it'll give you keywords and say, now use these words
No,
to
that
get,
is the keyword.
that
That
is the
is the
keyword.
keyword. Yep. What they are actually, keyword is a misnomer. It's a phrase. It's not a
Okay.
single word. It's not like hashtag realtor. It is moving to Savannah, Georgia is called the keyword, even though it was more than one word, that
Right.
it's called the keyword. So that whole phrase is what people are typing into the search bar, whether it's on Google or YouTube, doesn't really matter. They're kind of interchangeable.
But you
And
came up with that in your head, and
yes,
then you went to your this app that you're using to go,
yes.
does this produce results?
Yes,
Got it.
exactly.
Okay.
So
And
if
then
your idea was you were looking for sellers and you said, I want to do a video about what color should I paint my front door because I read some article that said if you paint it navy blue, it will sell for like 4% more money or something like that. You're going to have to get on there and go, okay, what color to paint my front door? Nope, that doesn't get any searches.
got it.
Okay, should I paint my front door blue? Colors to help your house sell faster. You're going to have to just brainstorm
Yeah.
until you find the right one. And then you're like, okay, got it. That's what my keyword will be. So that when people are typing that into the Google search bar, I want my video to show up at the top of the search results.
And
You
that
can
comes from,
also,
yeah, go ahead.
that
Sorry.
comes from keywords
But
everywhere.
the
The
title,
way,
putting
yep,
them
in the title.
in verbally saying them,
Yes.
the tags down at the bottom of the actual post when you post.
Yes.
So that tag should not be realtor or seller.
Correct.
That should be
Yeah.
like what color to paint my house.
Yeah, the tags
Got it.
on YouTube are not like Instagram hashtags. They're
I
very
was wondering,
different.
right? Yeah.
It's more like variations of the keyword. So if your keyword was um, best color to paint my front door or best colors for selling your house, then other tags might also be best colors to sell your home, best colors to sell your home in Georgia, best colors to sell your home fast. It's kind of like variations of what you
Right.
wanted that keyword to be.
You got to think of what people are actually going to be searching
Right.
so that your content pops up.
Yeah, because once you get to be a huge YouTuber, like how many people do you follow where the title of their video is "She said what?"
Yeah.
Question mark with an
Nobody's going to
emoji.
know if you
And
Google
it's
that.
got, well, but it's got millions of views. Why did that happen? That's because they
Right.
already have a huge
Okay.
following. If
Okay.
your channel is brand new, no, nobody is typing "she said what" into the search bar. So we've got to help it by doing some keyword research at the beginning. Then once you start getting lots of views and lots of followers and your channel is bigger and now you've got lots of subscribers, you can start to broaden what the title of the video would be. I mean, now I've got 7,000 subscribers on my channel, so I could probably call the video something like my favorite
Right.
whatever,
And people will
and it
watch.
might get a lot of views just because of the sheer number of subscribers. But
Got
when
it.
my channel was brand new, I relied very, very heavily on keyword research.
And that is like that the big, the big domino, as Russell would call it. Like, is that the big thing right there that says
Yeah.
that's what's going to get your YouTubes to start to climb up?
Yes. That is absolutely it.
Keywords.
Yep. Keywords
Interesting. Using
is
them right.
it. Yep. If you
Okay.
have, like, I have coaching students that live in major metropolitan areas. I have people that live in Iowa and everywhere in between. And you have to know who you're trying to reach and what are they searching for so that you will show up in those search results. And it doesn't always have to have the name of your town in the title. I mean, it could be random. Like one of the videos I have that's got the most views is something like, is it cheaper to build or buy a house? And so I'm talking about buying a resale versus buying new construction.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't have anything to do with my area. And it gets lots and lots and lots of views, but I still got lots of leads from that one too, because
Right.
the algorithm is smart and it knows where you're located based
Right.
on your IP address, and it knows what you've watched before, what you've engaged with before. And it says, oh, well, she watched this video about, buying a house in Savannah once before, so we ought to show her this video because we think she would like it.
So bottom line here, as you're creating all your content, you've got your video finally done. Now it's a matter of coming up with a title that's actually going to be effective, that's going to come up in
Yes.
searches, that people will randomly in their own mind go to Google and search. So you got to think that through and say, what would somebody search to get this content? And how does
Yes.
this content, what I'm saying, actually appease and provide value to these people for what they searched?
Absolutely. And it's not making it a big commercial all
Right.
about you where you say, if I can help you, please call me. Here's my phone number. Again, you want a really strong call to action at the end. And most of the time, it's going to be watch another video because we want to keep people on the platform so that we're making the algorithm happy. But also, it's making me happy because if you binge watch my content, that's just bringing you further and further down the rabbit hole, right? You're getting more and more ingrained with feeling like you know me. I mean, I can't tell you how many phone calls I get where they're like, oh my God, I feel like I know you already. We're going
Right.
to be BFFs. After I buy my house, like we're having a margarita party in the pool at my house. And it's like, that's awesome. What was your name again?
Right.
Because like I've never met you, but they feel like they know me because they've seen all of these videos. And so most of the time, my call to action is watch another video. But then maybe 20% of the time or 25% of the time, it's go get this free thing that I'm offering you. And yes, it takes time to make it,
Yeah.
but then you make it one time and you use it a million times. So
That's CTA right there. Is there ever a
mhm.
call to action that says, subscribe to my channel?
Sometimes,
Or
yeah, I used to say that
do
a
we just hope
lot.
people are going to do that? Like, do we just hope people are going to click
Well,
that button?
so at the very beginning, when I first started making YouTube videos, I said that in every video. And then as
Okay.
time has gone by, it's kind of like, all right, people know, like I don't have to beg for subscribers. If they like this content, they know to press the subscribe button.
Is
If
that
they
just a
want to
way of the
hear,
world, or is that
yeah.
you're unique?
No, I think that's kind of the way that YouTube has gone.
Okay.
Is that if I'm begging you to subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff, that it just kind of reeks of desperation, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Okay.
instead, we want to get them to binge watch the content. We want them to like it so much. And when I abruptly end the video, so I don't give any big hints anymore. I used to be like, thanks so much for watching. If you like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And I'm
Right.
giving them this giant signal that the video is over. So they would just leave. Now it's like I'm in the middle of a sentence almost. And then suddenly it's at the end screen. And it's like, if you like this video, and I know you did because you're still here, you should watch this one next. They go, oh, we're
Click.
done. Okay,
Got it.
click, and they watch that one next. Then you don't, as long as they're binge watching the content, I don't care if they subscribe or not. If they pick up
Okay.
the phone and they call me and they hire me for my
Yep.
services, then I won.
Right.
And that's an interesting thing to bring up because when I look at my analytics, 80% of my views come from people that are not subscribers.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
80%. It's a
Interesting.
huge. And so I've got 7,000 subscribers.
Yep.
So how many people are watching that are not subscribed? And
Wow.
we're getting leads every single day from people say, I found you on YouTube. So I know that it's working and I know that it's effective. It really doesn't matter to me whether or not they subscribe as long as they sign on the dotted line that they want to
Yeah.
hire me
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
services.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So cool. So now, so we've taken everybody through, growing or starting your YouTube channel, how to execute on the channel, how to grow the channel. And I think the biggest thing here was, again, making sure that those keywords are bang on. And then I'll kind of put side by side with that, having a strong call to action. Right.
Right.
Which then means now we've had the call to action. We've told them what we want them to do. And we talk about how to turn it all into business, like you just said, and we've said it a few times now today, but it's having that support system, it's having that funnel that you've created, right? Having that ebook which you've put time into, going out there and making sure that your email funnel is in place, and yes, you can hire people to do that. Is that really basically is that the basis of this whole thing?
That's the basis of this whole thing. It's basically creating a giant sales funnel.
Yeah.
And I know that not a lot of people, are big internet marketers, but essentially we're creating a funnel. We are looking for the people that are at the top of the funnel that are doing their introductory research so because otherwise they already have a real estate agent or a loan officer that they want to use. We're finding the people who are unattached. So we're looking for the people at the beginning of the process, but they're not so far in advance that it's going to be like 2 years from now because they're not Googling best place to get fish tacos in Dallas. Like we're not looking for those people. At least I'm not. I am looking for the people that are expressing an interest in doing a real estate transaction.
Right.
Because if I'm going to make the time to make a video, I want it to be a video that's going to bring me a lead, not just top of mind awareness. So that's the beauty of YouTube, is like you can do the top of mind awareness stuff for Facebook and Instagram, but on YouTube, the people are Googling this. They are looking for the information. Why not make a video answering that stuff for them so that they're ready to do? I mean, we get leads all the time that say, one of the questions I ask is, name, phone number, email address, how soon are you looking to move? And they'll say, in the next 90 days. Like they're ready to do something now. So why not go after those people? I mean, I love getting leads where they say, I'm doing this next year. Okay, cool. But I love the leads where they're doing business right now too.
Sure.
And so that is the beauty of YouTube. So create this big sales funnel,
Yep.
right? You make your lead magnet, you set it up on a landing page. When they fill out that form, it's automatically going to reply and send them an email with that PDF attached or a link where they can download it. It's going to go into your CRM. It's going to start a follow-up campaign. I use Lion Desk. It sends them a text as well as sending them an email. The text comes out from my assistant, which is really just a bot. It's artificial intelligence. But Gabby sends them a text saying, hey, this is Gabby. I'm the assistant at the Georgia Coast Homes team. Saw that you just downloaded our free thing. How can I help you? And then they reply. And we were like, holy cow, it was an actual phone number. It wasn't a fake phone number. Why is that? It's because they trust me at this point. I got on the video. I didn't try to sell them. I wasn't being all super self-promotional. I was answering the question. I offered them something of value that they wanted.
Yep.
They gave me their legit contact information in response. We go back and forth through texting. And then when we finally get on the phone together, they feel special. Like I'm doing them this great favor by calling them because I'm some sort of celebrity, which cracks me up that that's what they think, but that's what they think. And I've heard it so many times now that I just accept that that's what they think.
You are a celebrity.
Right? Like, oh my God, you're famous. I can't believe you're calling me. And then when you have that kind of a conversation, they don't say, I'm interviewing 3 other agents. I'm looking for whoever's going to do it the cheapest. I'm looking for whoever's going to give me a rebate on my commission. They don't do that. They've already chosen you because they know, like, and trust you, and you've shown your value. So the leads that you get from YouTube are hands down, without question, the best quality leads of anything I've ever tried in my whole career.
Cool.
Ever.
And again, you can do this for
free.
I was going to say, like, cost wise, like little to no cost.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to have your CRM anyway. You've got to have your website or your landing page anyway. If you don't have any of those things, shame on you. It's 2020. Get a freaking CRM. But you're going to have it anyway, right? Whether or not you make this thing. If you make your own lead magnet in Canva is free. It just takes a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. And if you really just don't have the time or you don't have the technical know-how, you hire a virtual assistant who can do it for you. And you'll pay them a few bucks, but they get it all set up for you so that you don't ever have to do it again. Like literally say, I don't know, I'll pay you $500. You set the whole thing up and then we're done.
I use Loop CRM. That's the one that we built from kits. And we've got, a massive user base using that system as well. And I mean, we've set all that stuff up as well. It's where it can funnel directly into the database and you can set people up on plans and you can keep in touch with people. And, there is a moment here where everybody's got to understand, you've got to get the hustle on. You've got to make that phone call or reach out or have that connection point where it starts to become real. And it's not for everybody, because you could set up the type of bot or VA that you want to make that, or even the automated, like, hey, thank you. Here's your download. Can we help you? Would you like to set up a call? You could set all that stuff up. And at some point, always remember, it's a people business.
Right.
So if you can connect with people and build that extended relationship where they feel like they already know you, the chances are you are going to win that deal.
Yep. But the great news is that you don't have to drop what you're doing. You don't have to run away from the table in the middle of having dinner with your spouse on your anniversary because you just got a hot lead. And if you don't call them in the next 2 minutes, they're going to move on to the next real estate agent. They've already picked you. So if it takes me 20 minutes to return their phone call, they don't ever say, oh, I'm sorry, you were too slow to call me, so I moved on to somebody else. They are willing to wait for you. So it's a really nice thing where, of course, I call them, but I don't have to like pull over on the side of the road and do it right now because you're going to lose them.
Yeah, I got you.
Right, exactly. Like speed to lead is not really an issue with YouTube leads.
So I want to make sure that everybody walks away from this episode armed and ready to be a YouTube star. What haven't we covered today that you want to make sure we get to? Is there just any last tips that we might not have gone over?
The only thing I can really think of is that everyone's afraid, not everyone, but a lot of people are afraid to be on video. They don't want to because they are afraid of being judged. Well, I'm here to tell you, I have had people say, girl, you really need to go do your roots. Like, you should not get on camera with gray roots before. I lost a lot of weight when I started doing the keto diet. And one of my friends was like, wow, like your face was so fat before and now you look skinny. I'm like, really? You said that in a comment on my YouTube video? So people will say obnoxious things in the comments. Who cares? Like, you can't control what other people think about you. And if you got this lead from if it was a referral from a past client and they said, oh, my friend Sue wants to buy a house. When you show up to meet her for the first time, she's going to see what you look like. So what's the difference if she sees me in person at the office or at Starbucks, or she sees me on a video? She's still going to see me. So the sooner you can get over this mental hurdle of, ooh, I don't want people to see me on camera because, I got a double chin or whatever. Listen, there's so many things that we can do with the camera angle. If you put the camera at eye level and then just slightly above, it kind of gets rid of the double chin. You can use filters if you want to use your camera that has, ring lights. Ring lights are awesome for, diffusing the wrinkles and stuff. But just decide that you don't care what people think about your appearance, because they're not hiring you for what you look like. They're hiring you for what you can do for them. And if you can show them that you care, that you're a nice person, that you would be great to get along with, and that you're competent in your chosen field, they're going to hire you whether you're 10 pounds overweight or not. They just don't care. And so if they don't care, why are we making it an issue?
And that is how you build mind share with YouTube. Karin, where can people find you?
You can find me at YouTube for Agents on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook for that matter. And then I recently did a 5-day challenge where I said, all right, on day 1, we're going to do one thing and I'll give you a homework assignment. And then on day 2, we'll do it again on day 3. And over the course of 5 days, you overhaul your YouTube channel so that you can set yourself up for success. And I recorded the whole thing and I put it online. So if anybody wants to watch that on demand, you are welcome to do it. And the link to that, awesome.
I just added it into the comments for us right now.
Perfect. So yeah, it's the replay of the 5-day challenge. It'll be in real time. So you'll get 1 email per day with the video attached. And if you watch it and start using YouTube as a lead generation strategy, I think you'll be very, very surprised at how effective it is.
Love it. Love it. This has been absolutely amazing. I've got one last question for you.
Sure.
What made you smile today?
So many things. I mean, I don't even know how to narrow it down. I know that life is crazy right now, but we have so many things to be thankful for. And I'm trying to just focus on those things rather than the bad things, because life is good. We're all healthy. It's a beautiful day out. So I'm just chugging along.
I love it. Karin, this has been absolutely amazing having you on the Mindshare podcast today. I want to thank you sincerely for your time and for all of these awesome YouTube tricks. I've definitely learned a lot, and I imagine that everybody here has as well. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me, David. It was awesome.
You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or maybe you downloaded our free Industry Syndicate podcast app. Or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the 7 Ways to Communicate ebook to help you build more mindshare so that you can get even more market share. And sign up for personal one-to-one mindshare coaching so you can achieve everything you want in life. Wherever you like to consume your content, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at DavidGreenspan101. This has been another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.